In economics, elasticity refers to the degree to which individuals, consumers, or producers can change their demand or the amount supplied in response to changes in price or income. It is mainly used to measure how consumer demand reacts when the price of a good or service changes. For example, if the price of a product increases and demand decreases significantly, that product is considered elastic. According to Gregory Mankiw, elasticity is a measure of how much buyers and sellers respond to changes in market conditions. This means elasticity helps us understand the sensitivity of markets and guides businesses and policymakers in making better decisions about pricing, production, and resource allocation.
Now, let's proceed to the price elasticity of demand and its determinants. Price elasticity of demand measures how much the quantity demanded of good exchange when its price changes, whether it goes up or it goes down. Example, if the price of luxury, let's say handbag, increased by 10% of its price, then as a result, the quantity demanded decrease for 20%. So, bumaba ng 20%. Then, the demand for that luxury item is considered as elastic. Kasi, malaki yung nag-decrease or it stretches. On the other hand, if the prices of necessity, like for example, let's say bread, increases by 10% again, but the quantity demand only barely move or 1%, only 1%, then the demand for bread is considered as inelastic kasi hindi siya ganun naapektuhan yung demand niya kahit nagtumaas yung price niya. Now, let's proceed to the factors that determines the price of elasticity demand. First one, we have the availability of close substitute. If consumers can substitute the good for other readily available goods that consumers regard as similar, then the price elasticity of demand would be considered to be elastic. If consumers are unavailable to substitute the good would experience inelastic demand. So, availability of close substitute, basically, ito yung if it is how easily a consumer can switch from one product to another if the price changes, then it is considered elastic. So, example, if the price of Pepsi goes up, consumers can easily switch to Coke or other substitute brands na mas mura. Another, if the price of Grab food increases, consumers can easily switch to Food Panda or other delivery services. And it says here that if consumers can substitute the goods for other similar products, therefore it is considered elastic. And in contrast naman, the price of chicken goes up, consumers may not be able to easily switch to another type of meat like beef or fish because some people or some other people is mas prepare nila yung chicken kaysa sa other meats. Therefore, it is considered as inelastic.
Necessity versus luxury. Necessity, like insulin, have an elastic demand because the people need them even the price increase. On the other hand, luxury goods like branded bags or latest gadgets have elastic demand because people can choose not to buy them. proportion of income spent on goods. If the product takes only a small part of the income, demand is elastic. For example, even the price of salt increase, people still buy it. But the product like motorcycle becomes more expensive, many people may stop buying it because it takes a large part of their income. Time horizon. In the short term, demand is elastic because consumer cannot adjust quickly. For example, if the gasoline price increase today, people still buy the gasoline. But in the long term, they may switch to public transportation or buy a fuel-efficient vehicle, making the demand more elastic. That's all.
Computing the price elasticity of demand. Economists compute the price elasticity of demand as the percentage change in the quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in the price. So here's are the formula of price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand equals percentage change in quantity demanded divide percentage change in price. So next slide. Ito yung example scenario ng price elasticity of demand. Certain group of cigarette smokers such as teenage, minority, low-income, and casual smokers are somewhat sensitive to change in price. For every 10% increase in the price of a pack of cigarette, the smoking rates drop about 7%. Plugging those numbers into the formula we get. Price elasticity of demand equals percentage change in the quantity demanded divide percentage change in price. So, ang ilalagay natin dun sa percentage in quantity demand is yung 7%. Doon naman sa percentage change in price ay yung 10%. Para makuha natin yung negative 0.7 is i-divide natin sila. Negative 7% divide 10% equals negative 0.7. Pero paano nga ba naging negative ang kinalabasan nitong negative 7 divide 10%? Kasi kapag dinivide mo siya, kaya siya naging negative is kapag kasi tumataas yung price ng product, bumababa yung demand dito. So, opposite na direction sila. Kaya naging negative 7, naging negative 0.7 yung kinalabasan nung yung solution natin. Another example scenario of price elasticity demand. The cost of milk tea in a shopping mall increased by 20%. Due to the increased price, a lot of students reduced their purchase. As the result, a negative 10% fall in quantity demanded by decrease. Yung formula ulit natin is yung price elasticity of demand equals percentage change in quantity demand. Divide percentage change in price. So dito, ilalagay natin sa percentage change in quantity demanded is yung negative 10% dahil bumaba yung demand, and yung doon naman sa percentage change in price natin is yung 20% dahil tumaas yung price ng milk tea. Para makuha natin yung tamang sagot, i-divide natin silang dalawa, yung negative 10% divide 20%, and then yung equal niya is negative 0.5. Kaya naging negative 0.5 yung naging sagot is kasi kapag mataas yung price, bumababa yung demand nito. Nagiging opposite direction sila.
Ang midpoint method ay isang technique na ginagamit para makuha ang percentage change ng quantity demanded at price kapag nagko-compute ng price elasticity of demand o tinatawag natin PED. Ang kaiba nito sa usual percentage formula ay hindi siya nagde-divide sa original value niya. Instead, hinahati niya ang change sa average ng dalawang values. Ginagamit ito para mas maging accurate at consistent ang sagot kahit baliktarin mo pa ang direksyon ng movement. For example, from point A to B or B to A, vice versa, nothing changes. Ang main formula ng elasticity, na tinakal kanina ni Ms. Bohol, is PED is equals to the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. Pero gamit ang midpoint method, ang percentage change ay kinukuha gamit ang mga formula na Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q2 plus Q1 divided by 2 para sa quantity, P2 minus P1 divided by P2 plus P1 divided by 2 para naman sa price. So dito, ang Q1 ay ang original quantity at ang Q2 ay ang new quantity. Ganun din sa price. Ang P1 ay ang original price, ang P2 ay ang new price. Yung nasa taas ng fraction, yung Q2 minus Q1 or P2 minus P1 ay ang actual change. Yung nasa baba naman, yung Q2 plus Q1 divided by 2 o yung P1 or yung P2 minus P1 divided by 2 ay ang average ng dalawang values. Sabihin, instead na sa original value tayo mag-divide, sa average tayo nagdi-divide para mas fair at consistent ang result. Halimbawa, kung ang quantity demanded ay tumaas mula 100 units to 103 units, kukunin muna natin yung difference na 3. Pagkatapos, kukunin ang average ng 100 at 3, which is 101.5, at i-divide natin ang 3 sa 101.5 at lalabas na ang 0.026 or 2.96%. Ibig sabihin, ang quantity demanded ay tumaas ng 2.96% gamit ang midpoint method. Now, let's proceed to the example. For example, I have a coffee shop named Black and Bruce. Sabihin natin nagbenta ka ng 100 cups ng kape for 100 pesos each. Nang binabaan mo ang price to 90 pesos, tumaas ang sales mo ng 120 cups. Sa quantity, ang change ay ang 20 at ang average ay 110, let's say. Kaya ang percentage increase pag kinumpute ay 18.18%. Sa price naman, ang change ay 10 at ang average ay 95. Kaya ang percentage decrease ay 10.53%. Kapag dinivide natin ang 18.18 sa 10.53%, lalabas na ang 1.73 ang elasticity base doon sa diniscuss ni Ms. Bohol kanina. So, of course, what do we learn? Since greater than 1 ang sagot, ibig sabihin, elastic ang demand. Meaning, sensitive ang customers sa pagbabago ng price kasi kahit maliit lang yung pagbaba ng price, malaki ang tinaas ng sales. And overall, ang midpoint method ay mas fair, mas accurate, at mas consistent na paraan ng pag-compute ng percentage change at elasticity dahil gumagamit ito ng average ng dalawang values, hindi lang yung original value. Mas reliable siya gamitin sa economic analysis.
Now, even without computation, we can still understand the price elasticity of demand by looking at the graph. Alam naman po natin na ang price elasticity of demand is measured by how much the quantity demanded responds to a changes in price. By this graph po kasi, malalaman natin yung response ng buyer and seller in changes of market conditions. A more elastic curve will be horizontal because yung konting pagbabago sa price is nagre-result sa malaking pagbabago ng quantity demanded, which means sensitive ang consumers pagdating sa changes ng price. Less elastic curve will tilt more vertically because even if the price is higher or gradually decrease, the consumer will still buy due to higher necessities. When talking about elasticity, The term flat refers to curves that are horizontal, and flatter, elastic curves is closer to perfectly horizontal. Let's proceed to the graph naman po. The vertical axis represents the movement of price, while the horizontal axis represents the movement of quantity demanded. First, in inelastic demand, it shows na kahit na malaki ang pagbabago sa price, maliit lang ang pagbabago nito sa quantity demanded. Dahil hindi naman gaano nagre-react ang consumers sa changes ng price due to necessities or needs. Like for example, sa bigas, kahit na tumataas ang price ng bigas, may bumibili at bibili pa din ng mga consumers. Kapag naman nag-drop yung price ng necessities, dito naman nag-increase yung demand, which is pinapakita sa graph ng elastic demand. Kung mapapansin nyo na bigla siyang nag-flat, dahil expected na kung bababa ang price ng necessities, marami ang bibili nito. Next naman is yung perfectly inelastic demand. Dito pinapakita yung wala talagang response ang consumers about the price due to higher necessities and needs. Or hindi siya pwedeng i-substitute, like for example, yung medicine. Hindi ka naman pwede magpalit ng gamot kung yun talagang required sa specific medical conditions mo. That's why the demand stays still. And lastly, the perfectly elastic. Dito naman po is pinapakita yung pagiging sensitibo ng consumers sa changes ng price. Or rather, naghahanap naman sila ng substitute. Like for example, yung usually na binibili ng consumers na iced coffee sa labas ng tindahan is nag-increase ng 10 pesos. Naghahanap na lang sila ng other store na mas mura or di kaya magkakape na lang sila sa bahay. In short, kapag nagkaroon ng paggalaw sa price is magkakaroon din ng paggalaw sa demand.
So let's proceed to this. Elastic demand. Elastic demand happens when consumers are very sensitive to changes in price. The second bullet, when the price increases, the quantity demanded decreases significantly. In this case, the elasticity of demand is greater than 1. Ang elastic demand daw happens kapag madaling maapektuhan ng consumers sa price changes. Ibig sabihin, kahit konting increase sa presyo, malaki agad ang pagbaba ng quantity demanded. Usually, ito yung mga products na hindi naman essentials at may maraming alternatives naman. Kaya madali mag-switch yung mga consumers sa ibang product na mas mababa pa yung price nito. Kapag ang elasticity is greater than 1, ibig sabihin, mas malaki ang change sa quantity demanded kaysa sa change sa price. Kaya mabilis na apekto ng demand kahit maliit lang ang price change. Example na ito, kung tumaas ang presyo ng milk tea, maraming students ang pwedeng hindi muna bumili kasi nga mahal ngayon. Some ay mag-switch ng murang drinks para hindi masyadong magastos. Iba naman ay magta-try ng ibang brand or flavor na mas affordable at may promo. Dahil dito, malaki ang pagbaba ng quantity demanded kasi maraming options ang consumers at sensitive sila sa price changes. In this, elastic supply. Elastic supply means producers are very responsive to price changes. Second bullet, when the price increases or decreases, the supply changes significantly. Third bullet, the elasticity value is greater than 1. Ang elastic supply naman daw ay nangyayari kapag kayang agad mag-adjust ng producers sa price changes. Kapag tumaas ang price, madali nilang malagdagan ng production para mas kumita o masagot ang demand ng consumers. Ibig sabihin nito, very responsive ang producers sa price changes kasi mabilis lang na-adapt ang production depende sa market. Kapag ang elasticity is greater than 1, ibig sabihin, mas malaki ang changes sa supply kaysa sa change ng price. Kaya mas mabilis tumaas o bumaba ang quantity supplied depende sa price. Example, kapag tumaas ang price, mga smartphones, mabilis agad ang mga kumpanya na mag-produce ng mas maraming units kasi mataas ang potential profit nila. Halimbawa na lang ngayong may bagong iPhone 17, nag-a-adjust agad ang Apple para ma-meet ang demand nila. Kahit na halos bawat 2 years sila naglalabas ng bagong model nilang sa iPhones. Pwede silang mag-hire ng extra workers, dagdagan ng production lines, o mag-speed up ng mga assembly process para mas mabilis silang ma-produce ng bagong units. Ngayon, kahit kalalabas lang ng iPhone 17, nag-i-start na rin ng Apple ng preparation nila for iPhone 18 kasi alam nila na kapag lumabas ito, tataas ulit ang demand at price nila. Kapag bumaba naman ang price, like ng iPhone 11, hindi gaano kalakas ang demand nila doon. Madaling ibaba ang production para hindi masayang ang resources o malugi ang kumpanya.
Now, let's talk about inelastic demand. So, inelastic demands happens when consumers are not very sensitive to price changes. So, yung consumers sa inelastic demand is hindi totally nasasaktan or naaapektuhan kapag nagkakaroon ng price changes. If the price increases by 1%, the quantity demanded decreases by less than 1%. If the price decreases by 1%, the quantity demanded increases by less than 1%. So this means na yung mga consumer, bibili pa din sila ng same amount ng product kahit pa magbago yung prices nito. For example is sa mga presyo ng bigas. Even though prices of rice become higher, consumers still buy it because it is part of our necessity. So, inelastic demand, hindi nagbabago yung buying behavior ng mga consumer kahit pa magkaroon ng price changes. Next one will be inelastic supply. So, inelastic supply happens when suppliers or producers are not very responsive to price changes. So, dito naman, si supplier yung walang reaction kapag nagkakaroon ng price changes. So, if the price increases by 1%, the quantity supplied increases by less than 1%. If the price decreases, production does not drop much either. So, this means na kahit magkaroon ng price changes, hindi agad makakapag-change ng production yung mga producers. So, example nito is sa mga agricultural products, especially yung mga crops na pinapatubo or pinapagrow. So, kahit na magbago ang mga presyo ng crops, bumaba man or tumaas, di pa rin controlled ng mga farmers yung supply since needed ng mga crops ng time para mag-grow. So, it says na inelastic demand ito since di agad makakapag-adjust yung mga producers kapag nagkakaroon ng price changes. Last one will be unitary elasticity. So it happens when the percentage change in price is equal to the percentage change in quantity demanded or supplied. So dito is pantay yung nangyayari or equal. So kapag nagkakaroon ng change sa demand, magkakaroon din ng change sa supply. So it means kung ano yung percentage na supply, ganun din yung change ng percentage sa demand. So, if the price increases by 10%, quantity decreases by 10%. If price decreases by 5%, quantity increases by 5%. So, the change is proportional or the same. For example, no, if the price of a product increases from 100 pesos to 110, because there is a 10% increase, and the quantity demanded decreases from 100 units to 90 units, there is a 10% decrease. So, as we can see, parehas yung percentage ng percentage change nila. And it is a unit elasticity because the product price change and quantity demanded change are equal in percentage. So, like I said kanina, parehas sila ng percentage even though yung sa supply is decreases and sa demanded naman increases. As long as same sila ng percentage, it is unit elasticity. And that's all for our report. Thank you.